this computer. So you can see here that this is what I want us to focus on. I've downloaded the software, so you no longer have to hear me just say like which buttons you have to press. You can actually see which buttons to press. And let's say, for example, if I type 10 times 5 and I press enter, you'll be able to see the exact buttons on the side here as well. You can see 10, 1, 0 times 5, enter. Okay, so you'll see the exact order that I type it in as well. Hopefully this gives you a really good idea of how to use this calculator to its fullest potential. And next year, we're going to be using a different calculator, but it'll also be kind of like the same interface, just in case if we go online learning again, which is possible. You know, we'll try to make it work. Okay. So, just having a look at over here, down at the bottom of Compass, there's all the resources that you need. So you can download the resources here. If you don't have the textbook chapter, you can download it here, click there. And the back of the book answers. Now the back of the book answers has all the chapters from 1 all the way, the whole book, right? So just have to scroll down to chapter 2 to get there. All right. Other than that, our main document is this one here. So if you can have that open up when I ask you to do your exercise questions, or if I assign you some homework like this here, like these questions here, then if you can use it, that'll be fantastic, okay? Sometimes I'll have it on like this, I'll screenshot it and I'll put it on Compass, but in the case that I don't, then at least you'll still have it on your own copy, okay? So let's go into Education Perfect here. You can see I've narrowed it down to 2A, 2B, 2F, G, and H. There's only 5 exercises. Now we also took into consideration the pace that everyone was learning. We're going to spend a whole week on simple interest. We're going to spend a whole week on compound interest. And this here will take the whole first week, maybe the first 2 weeks. We'll see how we go, okay? But because we're learning online, and let's face it, hopefully I know most of you are doing the homework, which is fantastic. But I would strongly and continue to encourage you to continue to try to do your homework, because that's the only way that you're going to get your practice and you're going to get better. Okay, but the processing time is a lot slower. So let's continue on. The learning intentions. There's 3 things that we need to learn by the end of today, or hopefully by the end of today. You'll learn how to do a percentage of a value, right? You'll learn how to increase a value by a percentage, so markup, and you also learn markdowns as well. But it seems here that I missed out on this idea here, how I asked you to convert a fraction to a percentage. Same with these as decimals to percentages as well. We just need to know how to convert between the two, okay? Now, which brings me to this. I'll show you this in conjunction or side by side, so you can see what to type on your calculator and how to get it. So let's see what we need to do. We need to convert a fraction to a percentage. For a percentage, it has a percent sign at the end, but on our calculator, when we type it out, we just write our answer afterwards. Give me 1 second. I'm going to hook up my wrong cable. I'm just going to hook up my iPad so then I can write on the screen, so you can see how I would write it if I was to do it in my exercise book, or if you were to do it in your exercise book. Okay, so if you could just write out the first question here as the title, convert fraction to a percentage. So you can just write fraction, draw an arrow, and then write percentage. I'm not too fussed. Let's see, quick time player. Oh, great. Wait a second while it loads. Hmm. What? Right, give me a second. Bit of technical difficulties. Please bear with me. Please work. It doesn't want to work. All right, I'm gonna have to find another way to do this. If it doesn't want to work that way, that's fine. So I'm gonna have to probably jump between the two. I'll show you how to do this on the iPad first.
So do you write the what do you write as the heading?
Sorry, give me a second, buddy. I want you to write just percentages as the heading. So heading, exercise 2A, percentages. We'll go back to the classic here.
Is this going to be on our knowledge book?
Yes, please. Yep. So here are the questions. So this is question number 4. And you can, instead of writing out the whole question, you can just write fraction to percentage. I'll get you to do 4A, E, and I by yourself. However, I'll use the other questions as examples, okay? So we've got 1/5 here as our first fraction. We want to change this to a percentage, so it's equal to something. The only thing that you have to do for fraction to get to a percentage is multiply it by 100. Okay, so if you have your question as 1/5, all you have to do is multiply it by 100. So I'm just going to jump back and forth between it, between this, but I'm going to jump to this. So we had 1/5. So notice this, I'm just going to clear the key history here. You press ND, then you press 1. Ooh. ND, so you get a fraction, number at the top, number at the bottom. 1, 5. You press to the right, times 100. You press enter. See how it's 20? 20
Yeah.
is your percentage. So your answer is 20%. That's all. Like that, literally, that's it. So what you have to write down is, whoops. All you have to write down in your book is this. Okay? I'll do another question.
We have to do it for each of the question.
Yes, yeah.
Sorry? Yeah, if you know how to do it now, you can just continue to do the other questions. You can run ahead. So 1/4 times 100. You go onto your calculator, you type 1/4 times
25.
100. 25, excellent, thank you. So 25, do I just leave the number as 25?
No, you have to write the 100%.
Percentage at the end, fantastic. Okay, so just getting a bit of practice for that. Just in case if they ask you to convert a fraction to a percentage.
Is there, why will you write 100 there?
Sorry?
Why will you write the 100?
Why do I write the 100?
Yeah.
The 100 there is to represent it as a number out of 100%. Okay? So that's just how we calculate, how we change a fraction to a percentage. All you have to do is multiply it by 100. That's just the rule. Okay?
All right.
So it also allows.
Ustad, we do more?
Yeah, you can do a couple more if you want.
All right then.
It's more practice. It gives you more understanding, a better understanding of how to do it on your calculator as well. Make sure you punch it in your calculator as well, just so you can get used to it. Yeah. Yeah. For all of them, if you want to convert it to a fraction, all you have to do is just times by 100. So can I get a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you understand how to do this kind of question? When we're starting with a fraction and they want you to go to a percentage. 4 people, that's it. 5, keep going. Okay, good. So just keep in mind that I like us to use our calculators 1 and 2 in our classes. I like us to do reactions just so we get a good idea of where everyone is at, if you understand it or not.
Mr. Just, can you grow up? Just let me to copy it for a minute.
Yep, I can do a couple more. Copying is one thing, but understanding how to do it is the other part, yeah?
Yeah, I understand, but
Yeah.
for now I have to buy a calculator because I don't have it.
No worries. So 7/25, if you want to change that to a percentage, all you have to do is multiply it by 100.
Mr. We do all of them?
28%.
28%, fantastic, thank you. You can do the green ones for homework, but do it to a point where you feel really comfortable, where it's just like comes to you naturally.
I did till H, is that fine?
Awesome, yeah, that's fantastic.
Oh.
The thing about me is like, I won't force you. If you do 1 or 2 questions and you already feel very fluent and you know you're going to remember this, then you can move on to the next question. Because I can tell you to do all the questions, and for some people, you do all the questions, you still don't understand what the hell's going on. Or if you do all the questions, you get bored because you already know how to do it really well. So it really depends on you. Like, how many do you have to do so that you become really good at it? Okay, so are we happy to go on to the next part?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Awesome. For the next part here, we're going to change percentages. We're still doing percentages, right? But what are we converting now? What are we changing?
Decimals.
Yep, to what?
Percentages.
Right, so we're going from decimals now to percentages. And the same rule applies. Fractions and decimals are similar. If you change it to a percentage, all you have to do is multiply it by 100. Now, it might be even easier here because you'll start to notice a pattern. 0.17. Let's go to the calculator for a second. So we've got 0.17. Whoops. If I want to change that to a percentage, all I have to do is multiply it by 100. Okay, let's bring that over to the calc. Sorry?
17.
17, fantastic. Thank you, Vivian. And I'll just show everyone here on the calculator here as well. So I'm just going to press clear here so the screen goes clear. So I go 0.17 times 100. Press enter. You get 17. That's 17% as your answer. Thumbs up if this is like pretty easy. Because remember, from now until, because you're doing general maths, from now until year 12, you get to use your calculator as much as you want. There's no restrictions on calculators anymore.
Sir, can we do a couple of them?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Smash them out. Now, what do you notice when you convert it? How did that 0.17 become a 17?
Because we times by 100.
Yep. So what does that mean about the decimal place?
It's being moved to the right.
Yeah.
How many
move this
times?
right. Once, twice.
Twice.
Right?
Nice. Yep, that's right. So do you really even need to use the calculator if you know how to do it using your head? Not really. Right?
Not really.
So this one here, that's just 73% because you move it 2 to the right. So decimals are definitely easier to change it, to convert it to a percentage. So you might understand how to do this now, just to build your fluency. So 0.48. And when you really understand what's going on, then you try to write a little faster. Because remember, in a test, I do want you to keep in mind that, ultimately in the end, you're going to do a test, right? A test also requires you to have a bit of speed as well. And you can see how I'm writing it out as well. I write the question and then I write underneath what to do. That's a 0.
Sir,
Yes.
they're basically all the same.
More or less, man. More or less. Try H for a change. And if you're unsure what the answer is, go to your calculator and double check. Type in the number.
Done.
So Khalid, that one's specially for you. Question H. What would the percentage be?
Hey, give me 1 second, sir.
Yep. I'm going to jump to H as well.
Sir, decimal just moves over to the end of the 1 and becomes
Yep.
101%.
101%. Yep. So this is 101% now. So percentage can go over 100, okay? Just
And
keep
G is
that in mind.
130%.
Yes,
The percentage.
yes,
can
that's
go-
correct. 113% for G as well. I may as well just do G as well. 1.13. Can I just get a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you understand how this works? If we can change a decimal to a percentage. 6, 7, keep going. So okay, 8 people understand it, good. So 113%. All right, who's ready for the next bit?
Me.
Awesome. Remember, this is being recorded. I'll be uploading this onto YouTube and I'll post the link on Compass, okay? So I'm not going to email it to everyone anymore. I'm going to edit the Compass page and then I'm going to put it on after class. All right, so hopefully that helps everyone. You won't have to be like, oh, sir, I don't know. I can't find it in my emails, because you probably get sent heaps of emails from all your teachers, yeah? So I'll just keep it on Compass, so it's on Compass in the subject. You don't have to go scrambling your emails for the notes or YouTube or whatever, okay? Now, what's going on here? What do they want us to do for
We
question
change
number 6?
to find a fraction
Yeah, so what are we starting with?
with the
71%.
percentage.
Nice, okay, so we're starting with a percentage and we want to go to not just any fraction, it has to be a simplified fraction. So yeah, well, I'll just write fraction here. But I'm just going to put in a bracket simplified. All right. Here's the rule. Well, actually, I'm not going to give it to you. We did fractions to percentages, yeah? What was the rule? What did we have to do to get a fraction to a percentage?
Times 100.
Times it by 100.
Nice. Got a lot of people coming through. Awesome. So we had to multiply by 100. What if we do the opposite?
Divide by 100.
Divide.
Fantastic. And Ivana typed in the chat as well. Thanks, Ivana. Divide by 100. Awesome. Everyone's on the ball. Is it just like the start of term 4 and everyone's keen for the end of the year, or what? Or do you just get it now? Or is this easy?
It's easy.
Probably this is easy, yeah? All right, good. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to type it in to the calculator. So we've got 71% as the question. We know we have to divide it by 100. So we can write it like this. We can write divided by 100 like this. But it looks better on paper if you show working out if you write it like this. Okay? So divided by 100 can be written this way, or it can be written as a fraction. Okay? There's 2 ways to write it. I prefer that if you show working out on paper, you write it like this. But on the calculator, yeah.
Do we have to show the percentage sign?
Nah, when you do your calculation, you just get rid of the percentage. Because a fraction doesn't have a percentage anymore, does it? True?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to type that into the calculator and see if it turns out nicely. If there's a nicer way if it puts it in a better way. So here it is. I'm going to clear the screen. Got 71. Now remember, divided by 100, we can also type this, yeah? It's easier to type this rather than this one here. Have a look. ND 71. You got to press the down arrow and then you press the 100. Too many buttons there, yeah? And what's more is that when you type it as a fraction, it gives a fraction as well. If you type 71 divided by 100, it gives you 0.71. Remember, we wanted a fraction in the end, yeah? So it's 71 over 100. This one here is already the most simplified. Okay, let's say we go 71, we type 71 divided by 100, right? And you press enter. That gives you a decimal. That's not a fraction, is it? How do we change that to a fraction?
Press the one on the top of the enter.
Yes, correct. That one right there. Bam, and it will change it to a fraction straight away. So can we simplify this fraction? Or is that already the most simplified?
We can simplify.
Not
Can
possible.
simplify
Well,
it.
Most.
it's already the most simplified. I'll show you for another question, but I'll go back here. Okay, that is already most simplified. Where is it? I'm going to grab this here and smack this down in the notes, just so you can see. So if you want to change fractions to decimals, all you have to do is press that button on top of the enter button. Okay, like Anne said. Awesome. Let's try a couple more questions. We know the drill now. All we have to do is divide by 100. So we'll do question B. We've got 80%. All we have to do is 80 over 100. Type that in our calculator. And, oh, Ivana, if it was 50 over 100, it turns into 1 over 2. Is that simplifying? That's correct. Absolutely. So Ivana mentioned something really like a great idea, and you'll see this with this question as well. 50 over 100 is the same as 1/2. Which one's more simplified, the 50 over 100 or the 1/2?
1.5.
1/2.
1/2.
Yeah. And that's the one that we want, because we want our fraction always simplified. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen here. I'm going to type 80 divided by 100. I'm just going to clear the screen here. 80 divided by 100. Press enter. Comes out to be 0.8. I'm just going to press the arrow. 4 over 5. That 4 over 5 there is our simplified answer. So I'm just going to take a screenshot of that as well. See if I can grab the whole calculator here. And I will share the screen back over on the iPad. Bop. Awesome. There we go. So we get 4 over 5. Cool. We can try a couple more. I'm not going to keep bouncing between the calculator and the iPad, so I'm just going to keep it like this. So divide by 100. That comes out to be 1 over 4. Type it in. I should make that a bit bigger. So do as many as you want. If you're feeling good, you can do all of them. So is there a way of finding without a calculator? Yeah, you can do it without a calculator, but it's just more manual. You got to find the highest common factor between the two of them. So let's say we do 40 and out of 100, right? What number goes into 40 and 100? I'm going to say 20. So I divide the top by 20 and I divide the bottom by 20. So what I end up is 40
2
divided
over
by
4.
20. Yeah, that's correct. So 2 at the top and then 5 in the denominator. Okay. It's particularly harder for other questions. Like, say for, I'll do a couple of these ones down here. Like 16.5%. Right, this one's a bit of a pain to like type out. So I'll show you how to do this on the calculator, sorry. So we've got 16.5, we've got to divide that by 100, right? In this case here, I would type out using that ND button. See the ND with a fraction there? I'd type it out like that. Okay, so it's going to be a bit of a pain, but we just got to deal with it. With this one here as well, it's quite hard to find your highest common factor as well, like what goes into 16.5 and 100. Okay, so I'm just going to jump to the calculator just for this question here, 16.5. I'll show you how to type it out. So we've got a fraction, but in the numerator, we actually have a mixed number. So see on top of the ND, you see how there's like UND? I'm going to press second there because I want the gray letters. So I'm going to press ND now, and you can see it pops up that. So we type 16, we press to the right, it goes to the top, 1, we go down to the bottom, 1/2, and we press down one more time, divide it by 100. Okay.
Mister.
And hey presto, that gives us a fraction straight away. Yes, Khalid?
Sorry. I was gonna ask you, how did you get the 16, the half next to it? Sorry.
The half next to it, you see the, I'll screenshot it and then I'll zoom in on the iPad, yeah? Give me a second, bro.
Take time.
No worries. Thanks. Let me just jump over to here and I'll explain it over here. So see here, there's the ND button. If you press that normally, that would just give you something like this, right?
Yeah.
But if we want the mixed number, so a whole number next to a fraction, you see this gray part up here at the top?
Yeah.
It's in gray, yeah? Do you see a gray button?
Yeah, the second.
The second. So you press second and then you press ND, N over D, and it will give you this.
Oh, yeah.
Right? But what comes first? We actually need to put the fraction first.
Yeah.
So press ND first.
Okay. ND.
So I'll show you.
And then press second. ND. 1. Bottom. 2.
Yep.
Bottom 100.
In fact, I'll actually show you here
Oh, yeah,
what I typed in step by step. All good.
Thanks, sir.
There you go. And you read across to the right here so you can see. Read by the rows, yeah? You can see exactly which buttons I pressed. If you follow the step by step, each and every single one of those buttons, then you should get to the same answer. Okay, so we got 33 out of 200. So that is actually the most simplified. Okay, can I get a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you understand how to use the calculator to do these questions?
So can we do just one more so I can get in my head?
One more? Yeah, which one?
Whatever.
Where are you?
Well, I don't care, sir. Whatever.
All right, let's do
So can you do the last one?
last one, Al.
Yeah, the last.
All right, 52.5%. So we know if we want a percentage and we want to get to a fraction, We just have to divide by 100. Okay, so let's do that. We're going to get 52 and 1/2 all over 100. Okay, let's go. Do you want me to go to the calculator so you can see how I type it in?
Yes, please.
Okay. Mohammed, do you understand that we have to divide by 100? You understand that part, yeah?
Yes, sir. It's just the HCF part, the next part.
Oh, don't worry about doing it by hand, man. Like, so as long as you have a calculator, you use the calculator. Okay?
Alright.
That's the thing about general maths, man. Like, don't do the heavy. You got to think about it this way. When you're doing a test, yeah, you got to know the test is going to be very long, and you got to realize that you only have a limited amount of brain power. Why would you go using all that fuel or that energy, right, to just answer one question when you could have done it using the calculator? It's like walking to school versus hopping in a car and driving to school. You know you have a car, just hop in and drive, man. Okay? Like, fantastic that you want to know how to do it by hand as well. There's nothing wrong with it, but we want to save our energy, okay? So we got our fraction out. We need 52.5 at the top, yeah? So I'm just going to press second U. So you can see the mixed number shows up now. 52, arrow to the right, 1 at the top, 2 underneath, and we press down once more. The number at the very bottom is 100. Just press enter. 21 over 40. So Khalid, is that okay?
I'm just trying to do it now. Yeah. Sorry, sir.
Yeah. Make sure you chuck this in on your calculator as well, yeah?
Sir, what should I write if I want to put that in my notes?
Yeah, me, mister.
In your notes.
If I want to put that in my notes, what should I write?
You can write what I wrote on, if you can be bothered, yeah?
Yeah, I'm bothered.
You can write this out.
All right. That wait. Give me.
So that's how you type a mixed number in, yeah? Just that yellow part there. You draw the buttons out. You press the UDs and stuff. But if it's just a simple fraction, then you don't need to use this, right? Like say 55 over 100. Notice we didn't have to use this second button. We didn't have to put that mixed number at the top. All right. We've got 2 more things to cover. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to spend some time doing the education perfect stuff today because I want you to get this down pat first. I want you to understand how to convert percentages to decimals, okay? And all the other skills. Once you know how to do this, yes?
You have to get the calculator, the green one.
The green one. If you can get the green one, that would be fantastic. But look, if you have your actual calculator right now, that's fine. Don't stress. I wouldn't go out and spend, look, if it makes your life easier, I'd go buy the green calculator. But if you can't, it's like $30. If you don't want to put out $30 and buy this, then that's fine. Because next year, if you do continue on to general maths, you're going to be buying this black calculator anyway. You're going to be buying this if you want to do general maths. And this is a lot more expensive, so I'd rather save up for that. If you can see.
So that Cassia one, the one that they use in methods.
Yeah, that's right. You can see like blue back, blue at the front, and it's actually got a proper screen for it as well.
So
Okay.
what was the name of that?
TI, yeah, CAS TI CX2, TI Inspire CX2. So only if you want to do it next year. Oh, Vivian's got it. Nice, Vivian. Yeah, perfect. If you're doing general maths next year, then buy it, please. Like, buy it so you don't have to wait around and you can start using it or start getting used to it, you know? Even if you're using just the basic functions for it, learn how to use it. Because there are students in year 12 who still don't know how to use the calculator and they bought one. It's like, you bought it, you have a toy, but you're not going to actually use it at all. Like, make use of it, okay? So are we all good for the next bit?
Yes, sir.
All right, awesome. Now, since you already understand how to do this, maybe after class for homework, I'll just get you to write notes out. Or you can do a couple more questions if you want. I'm not too fussed. But definitely keep this in mind for the next lesson. Because the next lesson, you'll probably learn how to increase or decrease percentages. Okay. And I'll try to probably write a few more questions up for it. Yeah. If you got both of them, that's fantastic. Now, if you actually have both of them, to be honest, for basic questions, I prefer using this one. And for more complicated questions, I like using the black and blue one instead. So it really depends. It's like if you go to brush your teeth, you wouldn't use a fork, would you? A fork is a really great tool, and a toothbrush is also a really great tool. But when you're eating, you would rather use a fork rather than a toothbrush, and when you're brushing your teeth, you'd rather use a toothbrush than a fork. Right? So it depends on the situation. You need to pick the right tool for it. These questions are basic, so I'd rather use the green calculator. Okay? But look, if you don't have either of them at the moment, that's absolutely fine. All right? Now, for question number 7 here, let's have a look. We want to convert percentages to decimals. So I'm just going to write here, percentages to decimals. What do you reckon we should do if we're converting percentages to decimals?
Do we divide it?
Yeah, why's that?
To divide by 100?
How'd you figure that out?
Like in the fractions?
Yep. So because we did the same with fractions, we can do the same with decimals as well, yeah?
Yeah.
That's correct. You're absolutely right. Or you can think of the opposite way. How did we get from decimals to percentages? What did we have to do?
Multiply.
We multiplied by 100, correct. So if we want to go this way, we multiply by 100, right? But if we go the other way, then we have to divide by 100, okay? So let's write that down. You can divide by 100 like this, or you can divide by 100 by doing a fraction instead, okay? 2 options for you. And don't forget, on the calculator, you want to use this button as well. The one on top of the enter button, okay?
So to the left is times and to the right is divide.
Yeah, but what if I wrote it like this? Where's to the left? Which one's to the right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'd rather you say the word, right? Rather than just saying to the left, to the right. I'd rather you say to get from percentages to decimals, you divide by 100. Okay. So use the words. Use the words rather than saying directions. Yeah. Like imagine we're at Broady Shopping Centre, and I tell you, how do I get to JD Sports? Yeah, you know how you go in, you go right, you go left, and you go right again. You'll be like, what the hell? No, you say you go to the ANZ on the corner, then you turn right, you walk down all the way to the bookstore, then you turn left and you walk up a bit. Did I get the directions right? You guys go to a Broady Central a lot, yeah? Is that where JD Sports is?
So say the food court. There, say that. That figure out.
Yeah, true. Food court. Just go food court. You're right. So, okay, 61, just divided by 100. Type it in your calculator, and you should get 0.61. What's the pattern with this? Remember, we said that decimals were easier, yeah? What's the pattern with this? Can you figure it out?
This one gonna be 0.83.
Right. So, what does that mean about the decimal place? What can we say about decimal places? Okay. But you'd rather just do it divided by and then check with the calculator, okay? Just to be safe. We've got one more thing after this. Is everyone okay with continuing on to learn one more thing?
Yeah.
Thumbs up or thumbs down, or do you want to have a break? Because I know you've had a long day. Thumbs up if you want to continue, or thumbs down if you don't want to. 2 people, so everyone else is asleep. Thumbs down. I got a thumbs down from Lookman. Doesn't want to continue. Oh, Sushma doesn't want to continue. All right. Well, I'll keep this recorded, but I'll go on to the next part and just hang in there until 2:45. I'm not going to ask you to leave, or I don't want you to leave. Just sit there and just listen to me ramble on, or take notes if you can.
Instead, when we
Then
divide
just look over it.
75 by 100, do we have to write present there?
Sorry?
Like
The-
the number C that we have divide 75 by 100.
Yeah.
And we
Do
and
we
we
put a
wrote
percentage at the end?
we have to.
Well, is a decimal a percentage?
Percentage to decimal.
No, a percentage is a percentage. A decimal is a decimal. They're different, yeah? A decimal is just a number. A percentage has to have the percentage sign after it.
All right,
Okay?
I understand.
All good. So I'll just do a couple of challenging ones here, like maybe I and J. So for these ones, I'll go to the calculator. But anywho, you should be going to the calculator anyway. So I've got 7.3 divided by 100. Just going to capture this here. That's what I got on the calculator. So we just got to write it out. 7.3 divided by 100 equals 0.073. Okay. Same with 200%. You go 200 divided by 100.
2.
All right, awesome. That's 2. So as a decimal, that's just 2. If you want to write 2.0, that's cool as well. Because 2.0, that's still 2. I just want to show you that there's a decimal there. Okay, just make sure you put the decimal point in. Okay, so for 30%, I'll do K as well. 430%, that's 430 divided by 100. You should get 4.3. As a decimal, you leave it there. You don't put a percentage sign on it, okay? So be very aware, be mindful that decimals do not have a percentage symbol on it. Once you're done with that, we're going to apply it now, okay? And I'm going to show you on Education Perfect, perhaps. Because I want you to know how to do it on Education Perfect. And I've got some notes on there as well. So I'm going to share Education Perfect now, if you don't mind. Ta-da. The next thing we need to find is the percentage of a number. Okay. So what did you notice here about the 42%? What do you notice for the of?
Times.
Yeah, it's the same as times, yeah? What did I change the percentage to?
Demistance?
Demistance? Never heard of that word before. It's called a decimal. That's the one. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we want to find 42% of 1,800, all we have to do is type in the calculator 0.42 times 1,800, and you get 756. Now, don't forget, when you get 756, don't just write the number. What's that 1,800?
$1.
Dollars. So you need to put a dollar sign at the front. That's it. That's all you have to do. Okay. So on the calculator, you don't have to always type it as a decimal if you don't want to. You can write 42 divided by 100 times, I'm just going to clear it for a second. Give me a second. I'm going to clear the whole thing. There we go. I'll start fresh. So we can write 0.42 times 1,800. That's one way. You can write 42 divided by 100 times 1,800. It'll still give you the same answer. Now, I want to see if there's a percentage. There is a percentage sign. You can also write 42%. Does anyone see a percentage symbol on the calculator?
There is no percentage.
Are you sure? How about on the left bracket?
Then it
Second left bracket?
Yeah.
And then we also write times 1,800. And it will still give you 756. Can I also show you something else? Maybe this is going to be a lot of a big cheat. If we write 42% and we just press enter, it changes to a decimal. If you want to change that to a fraction, all you got to do is press the number at the top Okay. And if you have, let's say we had 430% before, yeah? We wanted to change that to a decimal. All you got to do is press second, right bracket. See how it says an arrow? Oh, sorry. No. We don't press second. We just press enter. And it'll just change it to a 4.3. If you want that as a fraction, all you got to do is press the button on top of enter. That's 43/10. That's simplified as well. So, like, that's a way to do it. If you have a fraction, or let's say you have a percentage, 0.46, you want to change that to a percentage. See that button on top of the right bracket? If you press second right bracket, see how it says an arrow to a percentage? You press enter, it'll change it to a percentage straight away. Just a fun fact. Now, let's actually go to question number 6 here. I'll show you how to do it on the calculator. So you can see the question here is 35 out of 100, 35% times 4,500. You can write it like that. And then you write the answer underneath. Don't forget to put the $sign in. Okay. I also show here, I've also screen captured how to do this on the calculator as well. Okay. So let's have a look at question number 7. Actually, let's go to short answers. There's a question here. So how do we do this? We can type in 10%. The of turns into a times. And you type in 5,000. Press enter. And I actually got to fix this up. Go over here. 10% times, how much was it? 5,000, yeah?
Yeah.
Press enter. That's 500. So do we just write 500?
No, the dollar.
Gotta put the $sign in front. Correct. All right. You can see here there's different ways of calculating it. I'll just add this one on as well. And you just click got it. Cool. There's a couple more questions after that. I might teach you next time. Okay? It's 2:42 now. I want you to have your rest. I'll write up the notes for question 8. And then you can do some of that in your own time, yeah? So this question here, I want you to do this for homework.
All right.
All right. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I'll upload this lesson onto YouTube as well. So if you missed out or you didn't, especially towards the end of the class, if you didn't get much, rewatch it again. Okay?
Bye, sir.
Yep. See you next week, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Ciao, ciao. Take care.
All right. See you, sir. Have a good day.
Congratulations. You too. Congratulations on making it through your first day of term 4.
Oh, thank you, sir.
All right. See ya.
Oh, yeah. Take care. See you, sir. Look
See
after
ya, man.
yourself, sir.
You too. You too.
See ya. Bye-bye. Look after. Bye.